Hello and welcome to Innsbruck in Austria for the first IFSC Lead World Cup of the season. We have a packed night of competition climbing ahead of us as the athletes battle the pump on this 15-meter high lead wall right in the center of the Klettercenter gym that has been hosting this event all week. 8 men and 8 women have made it through this far and will compete for gold in what is the 365th World Cup event in history. My name is Matt Gruen, and I'm very lucky to be joined by Alex Kazanov, my expert athlete commentator for the evening. Alex, welcome to the box.
Thank you so much, Matt. It's good to be here. Good to be back here.
It is exciting, isn't it? Because so far this season we've seen bouldering, we've seen speed. This is the first time we've had a look at the form of the lead athletes. You've been competing, you've been hanging out with everyone all week. What is the standard?
Well, I'm pretty excited to see that for sure, because actually the final here is properly stacked with lead climbers, you know? Everyone here from Alberto and Sasha. I mean, Adam for sure is Adam. He's a special guy, so he does everything, but definitely packed with professional lead climbers. And this is exciting for sure. And I'm curious to see them on the route. They looked really good on the semi-final, and the semi-final route was amazing. So I'm excited.
That is our finalists on screen. The women climbing first. 8 women making it through from this morning's semi-final round. And if you missed that, do go back and have a little watch after this, of course. Don't go anywhere right now, because we have an absolutely incredible evening of climbing. I'm lucky enough to be joined by Alex, who is, of course, an athlete. He's an expert. I can't claim to be that in terms of athletic ability. Of course, a keen climber, but Alex is going to take us through all the nuances that we might miss when looking at this lead wall. And it is a very special lead route that these athletes on screen are going to be competing against soon. I like these little graphics that are showing up. Excellent. Just giving you a little profile of who's competing here tonight. That's Laura Rogera, who qualified in 2nd place for this final, having just got timed out at the top of the route.
Yeah, before we saw Brooke Rabotu, I'm not sure if it's her first lead final, but for sure it's a good sign for her as an Olympic athlete, making finals here and also making podium in bouldering World Cups. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good sign. It's
been a bit of a breakout year for Brooke, and in fact Team USA as a whole have done incredibly well.
That's true.
1 American athlete in the final tonight, 3 Slovenians, 1 Italian, and 2 Japanese athletes. And that is our finalist there, Miho Nanaka. She will be climbing first as she qualified last from the semi-finals. And Yanya Gambre, well, she'll finish off our women's lead final here tonight, climbing last. If you're new to competition climbing, welcome. We'll try to introduce the sport to you a little bit, explain some of the technicalities and exactly how this competition works. But in a nutshell, the aim of tonight is to climb from the bottom of the wall to the top of the wall. The athlete who climbs the furthest, they will win that competition. If multiple athletes top out the wall, then it goes down to time. And in fact, let's have a look at our women's route using this awesome looking graphic. 15 meters high, this lead wall. 10 meters overhanging, and trust me, when you stand underneath that thing, you understand how overhanging it is. And the route is split into various different sections. You can see with the colors. Red to yellow again, so you have an idea of where we are on the wall. Things kick off fairly straightforward. Some jump moves in the middle, and then this physical, intense section. Apparently there's 20 movements in the middle of that.
Wow.
And it all finishes with a triple dyno. And both me and Alex were trying to work this out because we can't quite see where the triple dyno is.
Personally I see a 1-2 maybe. Like, maybe you can even stop on the orange one, on the yellow one. Maybe you can go left hand to the yellow one and right hand to the last one. Oh, here we go. Miho Nanaka, first climber out.
Yeah, she walks to the stage.
Finals in every discipline this year. It's kind of a record, really.
She's one of 10 Olympic athletes competing tonight.
Wow.
So Miho, in her build-up to the Olympics, using this to her full advantage. She pulls on and gets started on this bottom section of the route. Alex, how nervous are these athletes at this point?
I mean, I guess it changes. I guess Miho is not so nervous right now. She made finals in 8th place I don't think she expected making finals in lead, or her like strongest discipline. So I think she's most relaxed here, you know, climbing with a smile and just having fun. But I guess if your expectations are big and you want to achieve a certain goal, then you're more nervous for sure.
The clock ticking down on the right-hand side, that is our timer. The athletes have 6 minutes in order to complete this route. If they run out of time, then they will have to stop where they've got to. On the left-hand side, that graphic, that is the route itself. And as we progress through these finals, we'll be able to see where the athletes are. There's a number that's ticking along next to her name, and that is the number of the hold she's currently on. So if no athletes top out the route, then it's based on how high they've got on the wall itself. So currently she's on hold 11, so she gets a score of 11. We'll explain more as we go along, but that's the basic principle. As Miho enters the second section, just composing herself here. Preparing herself for this next section into this sharp little crimp.
Here we go. This is the jump that we saw in the graphics, and it's bigger than I thought it is. Look at her position. Nice.
Yeah, really spread out, going horizontal there. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, we can see how she's really good in jumps. You know, even in the bouldering and in favorite discipline, she's really good at this kind of style. So. Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that because there are a lot of athletes sort of training these coordination dyno moves because it has become a bit of a thing recently.
Yeah.
So boulderers like Miho, she should be quite good at those kind of moves.
Yeah, she's definitely good, and even for boulder, she's really good. And it's more common now to see those moves also in lead. So we see this kind of bouldering going into lead and also lead going into bouldering in some ways. And it's just the progression of the sport, I guess. Also the progression of the holds. The holds allow the route setters to make those moves that before were impossible to make.
Absolutely, we're getting a good zoom in on those holds. You can see the shiny surface, that's called a dual textured hold. The shiny bit has no friction. So, as if climbing a 15-meter, 10-meter overhanging wall wasn't enough, if you stand on those slippery bits, you do pop off easily.
Yeah, and the thing is, just allows the route setters to...
So we just lose Miho early on in that route, about halfway up. We'll be able to see a replay of that, but disappointed.
Yeah, she looked pretty good actually. I thought she can do some more moves.
Yeah.
I think that she did the jump was pretty good. I expect at least one athlete to fall in the jump. I don't know who. I mean, we'll never know. But I think one athlete might fall there. So. She might even do a better result in the semifinal. Who knows?
Yeah, that's the replay of the jump that Alex was just talking about. And let's see where it came down. It's
just a bit short. Like, it's kind of an Inca hold. Look, she needs to grab with all her fingers and just crimp it right away. And she just came a bit short in the jump.
Yeah, like a couple of centimeters more height, she would have wrapped her fingers around that. And you could tell, like, she had that move.
Yeah, and you could tell it from her face when she fell. She looked, I could have done that. I could have done that. It's such a thing. Like, once you fall from a lead route, you, like, immediately look back at the wall and look, I could have done this. You know, you always think about what you could have done better.
Absolutely. Well, we've had one athlete for the women. My name is Matt Grube. I'm here with Alex Kazanov. We are your commentators for tonight. Alex, pro athlete, pro climber, pro general, nice bloke. He's here helping me out in the commentary box, so thank you very much, Alex. As Akio Noguchi comes out. Akio announcing her retirement from competition, climbing after the Olympics. So this is one of the last times we'll get to see her climb.
Yeah, kind of sad. I think I would be really interested to know how she feels about the Olympics being postponed, because she already announced it before COVID happened. So she's already a year late in her retirement, and I'm wondering how she feels about it. But she's in the finals in lead, so looking good, you know.
Yeah, she is, and so experienced. 56 World Cups and World Championships in lead, and a statistic for you. Her progression from semi-finals into the finals, 75% of the time that she gets into semi-finals, she makes finals.
And her statistics is crazy because she didn't make semifinals once, you know? She made so many podiums, so many in dozens of podiums.
But in fact, it goes further. 94% of the time that she qualifies, she makes semi-finals. So incredible, absolutely incredible stats. Anyway, she's climbing quickly now, getting through this first red section. No real problems, I don't think, early on in this route for the women.
I mean, it's just kind of an intro. It looks a bit insecure, a bit takes some power before the jump. I think this is the intention of the start, just to get them tired before the jump. And now we get into this first interesting part.
Yeah, Akiyo clips that quick draw, which is definitely needed for this dyno move. As she eyes it up, is she going to go as sideways as Miho did? Yes, she does, but she makes it
doesn't even need the foot. I thought about this method when I looked at the jump, and I actually thought it's impossible because of the dual texture. I was about to say before that the dual texture is not only making it harder for the athletes, also making it easier for the route setters to make the moves they intended, because you can hold the hold only in the intended position, and it's harder to cheat the move. But I guess here you can also jump two hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having to kick out onto that dual textured hold. Akiyo now just taking a second to compose herself after that jump. Always takes a bit out of you physically, a big dyno like that. So calm and collected. I love watching it. She climbs the way I dream about climbing, you know, just like calm. In reality, I'm kicking the wall all over the place, but she is just so focused.
So pretty.
Yeah. This
kind of a bit older school of climbing, I really miss it. Like seeing Jane Kim climbing as well as Akiyo. It's so pretty. It's so nice to watch.
Yeah, she just flows up the route, and you can see her now getting that crimp. Crosses over the hands, and she's coming up to the section that got Miho. Let's see how Akiyo can deal with this. It is a bit further than it looks, because the athlete's a lot lower on that hold.
Yeah, and they're transitioning from a less steep section to a more steep one, and it's a hard transition. She gets it. Nice.
Yeah, Akiyo getting it and readjusting. What a wonderful shot that is. She uses the thumb on the volume. When we say volumes, we're talking about the blocky things coloured in red on the wall, or black as you can see. They're just an extra route setting tool, an extra add-on to the wall, just to create more of a 3D surface, and basically so the route setters can play a little bit more.
I have to say, it's definitely powerful, this section. It's not just a promise they made, it's actually real. It's super powerful.
Yeah, and technical. There are about 20 moves in this little bit alone. Lots of underclings, tiny crimps, so it's very difficult in order to work out what to do. And remember, this is on site. The athletes have only had a couple of minutes to check out the routes.
And it's so hard to see from the ground all the small maneuvers of the holds, where to catch them, how to grab them.
Yeah, Akiyo making fantastic progress. She's into the final third of this route. No real problems for her so far. And there we see, just as I say it, she takes the fall with 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
It was actually a great performance. Really good. Really good.
Yeah, it was.
The moment when she was swinging her feet, like in the beginning of the physical section, was amazing. Just keeping calm, and look at the jump. Two hands. Her body just swings so far left.
Yeah, her feet ended up above her head on that move, which is special to watch. And let's see which move this is. This is the move. Yeah, that was the Miho move, the one she fell on, and just
puffing
had
her
more
cheeks.
height, didn't she? Yeah.
Looks hard, definitely. And look at this, like kicking her foot. That was super impressive.
You know what's incredible at that moment is puffing her cheeks. You're right. She puffed her cheeks, and then immediately her vision switched to the next hold. Like she was straight back into it.
And it's such a Japanese style of climbing to just let the feet kind of flow. You can see it a lot in the bouldering when they climb. You know, all the Japanese team, when they jump to a hold, they usually let their body just get loose, and their feet get like, super high above their head. And this way, they actually can stop the momentum, because when you have momentum, you cannot just stop with your body. You have to let go somewhere. So sometimes you kick the wall with the foot or a hold, and sometimes you just let your body keep on going.
Yeah, good knowledge from Alex there. That is right, that momentum thing. I hadn't thought of that, just balancing the weight down. Right, next up is Victoria Meschkova. Now, Victoria, you may not have seen so much about her, but she is an Olympic athlete. She had an unbelievable time in Moscow recently for the combined event. I've never seen anything. She won everything.
She was in every final. Bouldering, except speed. So bouldering and then lead and then combined and winning everything and topping almost every route I remember. Yeah, it was really impressive. Really impressive. I didn't know about her that much before European Championship, and seeing her there was quite a thing.
Yeah, it really was. Then she went a little bit quiet, and this week here in Innsbruck, she seems to have found that form again. So this is going to be interesting watching her climb.
It's a first lead World Cup, right? So it's not that we've seen a lot, and also it's kind of the Russian way. They train silently, you know, and then they just go to the comp and crush.
Victoria trying to make the clip, thought better of it in clipping from below. The athletes do have to clip all the quick draws in a route. They can't just skip them. But sometimes you'll see them try to clip or hesitate and go back down again. That's all just about working out this route because it is on site. They've never tried this route before.
Here you go. Let's see how she's going to jump it. She's looking at the foot.
Yes.
Nice.
Very different style from Japanese athletes, as you were saying. Less sort of swingy, more static.
Yeah, she, you can see that quite clearly, right? She really tried to hold the hold and tighten her core and kind of tried to control the jump more rather than Kyo let her body loose. So she absorbed the momentum with her body, with her core strength, while Kyo just let her body flow, and this way she preserved more power. But it's kind of a special skill. It's hard to acquire. So both ways works. I mean, depends on the climber.
Exactly. It's good for us to see these different styles that are happening. So Victoria, the third athlete out of 8. Yanya Gambre climbing last here tonight, having qualified first.
And this is the first big move of this powerful section. Looked really hard, actually. The next move also.
Victoria readjusting, not quite comfortable yet on this hold. She swaps to the left-hand side in order to chalk up.
She looks a bit nervous. She looks a bit scared of this big move. Let's see if she can get it together and execute.
Yeah, it is a long way, just taking a moment to chalk up. Fairly humid here in the stadium. Off she goes with a double up. Gets inverted upside down into the wall. Hopefully she's okay. Alex, talk us through that. That was a scary moment.
So she read it apparently as a double dyno. And I think it's most probably because her English is not that good. So she probably was reading the route by herself, which is kind of a special thing in climbing, that in climbing we can share our idea of the route and kind of find the balanced way of climbing it. And I guess because of the language barrier, she thought about it herself and she read it as a double dyno, or the other girls didn't, or at least the Japanese didn't read it like this. It looked really hard, honestly, double dynoing it. I see why she thought about this. And now I understand why she paused before for so long.
Let's watch a replay of that moment. That double dyno, then just getting tangled up in the ropes, inverted upside down into the wall, which looks painful. We think she's okay. And you could see very emotional when she came down. I think, as you said, looked quite nervous throughout that route.
Yeah.
Let's watch one more time here. So most athletes going up with the left hand. She's decided to double dyno up and out. Full commitment from Victoria Meschkova.
I mean, I guess it's possible to double dyno it, for sure. I mean, why not? But I think it's a lot harder. And the thing is that you don't see, or at least I don't think you see the holds from this perspective, because they jump backwards and the volumes are kind of set in a way you don't see the holds on top of them. So it's hard to hit it right.
Vita Luchka is our 4th athlete out from Slovenia, one of 3 Slovenian athletes in our final here tonight. Well, I've hardly breathed here, Alex. This is flying by. What a final so far. Vita has taken place in 15 lead World Cups and World Championships. She's 20 years old and 164 centimeters tall. For you stats people out there.
It's nice to see the switch she did. She was one of the few Slovenian women that competed in the Salt Lake Bouldering World Cups, and it was just 3 weeks ago. So being able to shift from bouldering to lead that fast is quite impressive. It's something that's quite hard. She didn't qualify to the Olympics, so she's not, I guess she's not training everything all the time for the summer. So I think it's quite impressive to see, and maybe focusing on Paris Olympics, doing also bouldering and lead.
Putting her thumb in that bolt hole like that, Alex, that is totally allowed, isn't it?
It's allowed. It's kind of complicated rules to understand if you never competed or never really paid attention to the gym. But basically, you're allowed to hold any hold that is on the structure of the hold, but you're not allowed to hold the holds that the bolt holes, the ones that connect the hold to the wall. So you see a lot of holes on the wall, you're not allowed to catch them. Oh, wow. Static.
That is incredible. So much shoulder strength in order to do that. But now she's struggling a bit with the cross through.
That was really impressive. I'm not sure if it's the smartest way of doing it. Might be, but definitely impressive.
Yes,
definitely.
Certainly, and so good to see another method. So far, Akio Noguchi, 33 plus. Now that plus, this is a complicated one. The plus means that you're using the hold, and the definition of that is that you shift your center of mass and you move one hand towards the next hold. So you can't just slap up for the next hold and hope to get the point. You have to move your center of mass and move one hand towards it. It's more of a controlled movement that the judges are looking for.
Yeah, it's complicated when you hear the rule, but most of the time it's quite clear. Oh no!
We lose Vita Luken early on in this route.
I'm curious to see what happened because it happened so fast.
Exactly. I mean, it's worth remembering here, this route, round about 8B plus to 8C, and it's slightly harder than the semi-finals route that we saw this morning, so a real challenge for these athletes. Let's watch some replays. I think this is going to be the slip. Yeah, just rolled out of that slopey pocket.
I wonder if it was the hand or the foot. I don't...
Yeah, look, she's just searching around for it. Can't quite see it, I don't think.
It looks like something slipped with the feet, almost. Because she was quite comfortable searching for the position, searching for the right place to hold, and then she suddenly fell off the wall.
Yeah, it looked like she just couldn't quite see it almost in order to get into it properly. Interesting. That is our women's positions at the moment. Akio Noguchi leads the way after 4 athletes, followed by Victoria Meschkova and Miho Nanaka. Vita Luken, who we've just seen climb 19 plus for her, in 4th place. Halfway through this women's lead final, and a lot of drama to come. We want to see a top here. I'm desperate for one. It's not guaranteed though, Alex.
No, but judging from Akio's climb, I think we're going to see some climbers get quite high on the wall. I'm not sure about the top, but...
Just watching a repeat of some of the action going on that we've just seen, and that is our current.
So actually we've seen in the replays, it was really good to see because we've seen the whole body of Vita, and what slipped was her left hand. Yeah.
Just losing the left, that caused that fall. Nice spot, Alex. Let's have another look at our route. This is it, 15 meters high, right in the center of this climb.
Nice graphics, I have to say.
Pretty cool,
yeah.
I'd like to say I knocked it up, but I didn't do this one. 10 meters overhanging, and let's have a look at some of the technicalities. The first jump, you're going to see this in a second. This is where we're seeing the athletes do a variety of different methods in the middle of that S-curve. snakes its way to the top of the route. There it is, the jump and kick move into the technical section. The physical intense section, about 20 moves on underclings and small crimps. And finally, the legendary mythical triple dyno finish. Who knows? Both me and Alex are shrugging in the commentary box.
What's a new school Leroy the triple dyno to finish it off, right? Doing 40 moves and then doing a triple dyno, of course.
Luchka Rakovitz of Slovenia. She's up next, 20 years old, and 25 lead World Cups and World Championships to her name. 36% of the time that she's gone to a semi-final, she's made the finalists, made the final. So fairly experienced. She gets cracking under this Innsbruck evening. Alex, conditions here tonight. It poured with rain briefly earlier. Would that have helped or hindered the
I
athletes?
guess it depends on the climber's skin, actually. And skin is kind of a big thing in climbing. It sounds funny, but it actually is. Some people have more of dry skin. Some people have more kind of wet skin. They sweat a bit more, and then it depends on the conditions. Sometimes this is better, sometimes this is better. General rule is that dry skin is better, but let's say you're holding holds with really, really low texture, having a bit more humid skin is better. So I guess it depends on the climber. And the thing is, it's just fair because it's for everyone. If the conditions are the same, it's the same for everyone. The only thing is that I'm worried about is that the route setters might have set this one in a more warmer condition, so they thought it's harder than it is. But until now, it worked quite well, I have to say.
Absolutely. Let's see what Luchka can do to this jump move. Kicks left and takes a big fall. Alex, you called it earlier on. You thought someone would go on that dyno, and we've seen it.
Yeah, she was a bit short with her hand, and it looks like actually doing the hand kick move is the harder way of doing the move. So it's quite confusing. I also read it as a hand jump move. I guess I would have done the same. But it looks hard. Yeah,
it does look hard. We'll see a replay of that.
And also mentally, imagine yourself going there. You have only one shot, and you have to jump this insecure dyno.
Yeah, let's see this. That's the hand. It's the feet really we're interested in, but you can see the feel off. Let's see it from this angle. Huge jump sideways.
All right, she gets it with the hand. And the foot is a bit far away for her. She's a bit short, too short for this kick. I guess jumping with one hand was a mistake, but you know, she's an amazing climber, amazing lead climber, really experienced. I guess this is not a result she hoped for, but I'm sure she can do better in the next World Cups.
Yeah, you can tell by the reaction of the athletes watching there. That is. That's a horrible fall to watch. I think she's okay. She's sitting back okay. But what a dramatic moment as we see that dyno really take its toll on the athletes. I'm nervous for the next climb, and I wasn't worried about that move, and now I am. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's in my head now for them.
So Brooke actually made podium in Bouldering Gold Cup this year. So I'm confident she of course she can do the jump, but I'm also confident she will do the jump. Question is how far she can get on the wall.
Her first lead senior finals here tonight, so perhaps not with the experience that some of the other athletes have, but as we were talking about earlier, this year has sort of been her breakout year. She's got multiple podiums, bronze medals. So
yeah, amazing to see her and also Natalia. You know, seeing them, first of all, as good friends, which is amazing to see, amazing to watch, but also the progression they've made. And I mean, of course, Brooke also qualified for the Olympics, but also making amazing results this year and consistent, which is even more important.
Absolutely. It's all starting to come together for certain Olympians as things get closer. It's going to be fascinating in the next comp in Vila as well. But wrapping her leg around there, really digging in her leg and heel, looking slightly uncomfortable on this bottom section, which is exactly what the route setters intended.
Yeah, so the thing is, I guess it's not the hardest part of the route, for sure not the hardest, but it is a bit unsafe, a bit kind of awkward with your body. And when you are awkward with your body in the positions you're not used to, you usually hold harder with your hands not to fall, do some mistakes, lose some power. And this is the intention of the route setters, just to get you a bit tired before the jump.
And here comes that jump, which my hands are genuinely sweating for right now. Brooke resting her way up through this first section, which is smart because she's going to have to do a very, very physical move, as we've seen. She eyes up, drop knee there to get her into position. The music tense as well. Here we go.
Here we go. Here's the jump. Ah, the Steigway.
Oh, she just made that stick, didn't she? Less of a swing, but then she has to swing after the move.
Yeah, it was amazing to see how she stopped the swing. Yeah, it was great to watch.
Yeah, that really was. That was an exciting moment. Brooke Rabbitoux going out left into the side pull as she continues up this wall. This is the women's lead final. The men's final will come after this. As we watch Brooke get horizontal on the wall.
This section is actually quite bouldering. I mean, kind of similar to bouldering moves, dyno to a mento, on this dual texture hold. But soon we're gonna enter the actual endurance part, and then we're gonna test Brooke's lead climbing skills.
Yeah, and as you said that, she's starting to struggle a little bit, but goes up with the right hand. But she's gonna have to have something in the tank because this is another one of those dynamic moves. But a chance for her to rest now as she eyes it up. Victoria was the last woman to take the swing here. Let's see what Brooke can do.
Nice.
Wow, totally inverted there, upside down.
She's so creative. It's incredible to see. I remember she was standing on bow holds in the World Cups in the States. Ah, look at her. I mean, she's so creative in her climbing. She finds those ways of doing the route the way she wants to. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, Brooke Rabbitoux quickly becoming my hero in climbing as she goes upside down in a splits position and casually checks the time on the clock, which is ticking down. 2 minutes 47 now left.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Yeah, and you can see her just chilling out a little bit perhaps. She knows this is the endurance-y section, as you said, and she's got to rest her way through it.
I guess from here you don't have that many positions to have a good rest, so 2.5 minutes should be definitely enough. See, she always finds a way to make it easier for her. She finds a knee bar, this like heel hooks.
Yeah, more of a knee scrub there perhaps, not a full lock-in knee bar, but certainly just enough to take that pressure off the hands. Look at that backdrop, a cloudy, moody backdrop as Brooke enters the final third of this route. Alex, do I dare breathe the triple dyno word? Not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
We'll talk about
There's
it
still some moves to go. She looks a bit tired now. Let's see if she can get this hold. Nice, what a fight.
Relentless from Brooke as she battles the pump. Again, another split position, is resting with the heel and the toe. One quick draw to go now for Brooke. One and then the final one.
Wow, incredible endurance. She's fighting hard and like finding all those heel hooks is crazy.
It's a masterclass from Brooke Rabbitoux from the USA. Oh, pressing out right, holding it with the shoulder. Come on, Brooke.
Come on, come on, come on.
Oh, it's just started to struggle at the very end, but she knows that's good.
Amazing performance.
That is a guaranteed medal position for Brooke. She's in the lead now with 2 athletes to go, so that's going to be a bronze medal for sure for her.
So medal in 2 disciplines already. She's definitely moving up the ranking in the Olympic predictions right now. Incredible.
Brooke Rabbitoux blowing minds here in Innsbruck. What a performance from her. As we see some of the replays of this action, this is the big dyno move. Look, makes it look slightly less static slightly less dynamic there, but watch this secondary swing that she has to do. Oh, we're not going to see it, but there was this, and that is the look back at the clock moment. I'm sure that will become an iconic photo, that one.
You know, making a podium here in the lead, she might climb a bit like with less pressure tomorrow in the bouldering, and who knows what will happen in bouldering as well.
Yeah, do you remember we have the bouldering semi-finals and finals coming tomorrow?
They're crazy. They're going to climb 4 days straight.
I know, it's going to be intense, but it's all for you back at home.
When was your last time you climbed 4 days straight?
I'll tell you what, I might have
Twice a day.
Maybe not 4 days, maybe I've climbed 4 days straight, but not at the level of this. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they have the skin.
It's not only climbing one route. You warm up for more than an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes for a route, and you do this every day and sometimes twice a day, like today and tomorrow. And just, it's incredible if their skin is okay. You know, it's so hard. It's so impressive to see.
Brooke getting congratulated by her fellow athletes. I do love this collection point where the athletes gather. It just shows, I know they're competing against each other, but they are supporting each other all the way through. Meanwhile, Laura Rogora from Italy. It looked like she'd actually won the semi-finals, but she actually was counted out the clock. She ran out of time during that semi-final, so she was in second place. She's 20 years old, has a gold medal to her name, and she means business as she strides forward on this wall. Perhaps one of the smaller athletes here today, so might struggle with this dyno move.
Yeah, the dyno, and then the move after the dyno, we're entering the red volume section. But she looks on top shape in lead. I saw her climb a bit in training here, and also looking from the semi-final and the qualification, she's definitely on point. She can definitely do the jump. If she jumps with 2 hands, I doubt she's going to jump one hand with a kick. I'm pretty sure the foot is too far away. But if she jumps 2 hands, I don't see a reason she cannot do that.
Laura Rogora working her through the bottom half of this route. Using that bolt hold we've seen a few athletes do before, just getting herself set up, pressing out into this move. She stands up, looking to clip this next quick draw, obviously before this dyno move. She's slightly struggling to get the position. She's gone far right in order to rest, but she's going to have to make that clip and then transition back left again. Currently in 7th position.
Okay, she's already struggling just a little bit with this move. Okay, she found some kind of a comfortable position now, but for a brief moment, it didn't look so good, I have to say.
Yeah, and still she's not comfortable. She's going up to the crimp before clipping.
But she's a master of matches. We've seen it in the semi-final. She's, look, no problem. Just match the small crimp. Why not? Of course.
Master
I do it every day. I just match small crimps.
Let's see what Laura can do with this dyno now.
She clips before she jumps. That's interesting.
Yeah, a different method for Laura.
You can see that she's a bit intimidated right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a long way for her. She's trying to walk her way up, but she's going to have to pump. She spent a long time on the bottom half of this route. She needs to go, and she does, and takes the swing off the pocket. Disappointed with herself. Never looked settled in this final. A shame for her.
It was close, and she actually jumped with 2 hands and let go with her feet, but I think she jumped a bit too much on the right. And it looked like she was intimidated from the jump. And, you know, there is this curse that if you're afraid of something, it might happen. And she was afraid of the jump. And it's definitely a disadvantage. Sometimes it's an advantage. She has amazing finger power, small fingers. She can hold small holds. But it jumps is a disadvantage. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that press move, she really struggled to get the position in order to clip. Shame for Laura, and we have one final athlete who will be joining us in a minute as we watch these replays. And this is the moment as she returned to earth. Just that dual texture for the right just didn't give it any purchase.
Really sad for her. She looked on top in the last rounds, and I thought she's going to get a medal for sure. I don't know which color, but definitely thought a medal. Yeah, she will be disappointed, that's for sure.
Shame for Laura, but good effort from her in that final.
But bouldering tomorrow, right? Needs to keep a clear head and perform in tomorrow's round.
Exactly. One more day of competition climbing. We've had a packed week, actually. There was the speed earlier in the week, the para climbing, which was one of the most amazing things that I've ever witnessed, and truly privileged to commentate on that. It was a wonderful, wonderful event. Of course, lead tonight and bouldering tomorrow to finish off this week, and then we're all going to go home and sleep. Right, Yanya Gambre from Slovenia. I mean, Alex, I've run out of things to say about this woman.
She's just the GOAT, you know?
GOAT, greatest of all time, for somebody who doesn't know an acronym.
Yeah. She is. She's like, I mean, she's amazing in every way. I mean,
well, put it like this, Alex.
Best climber ever.
She's had 35 World Cups and World Championships, and she's progressed from semi-finals to the finals 94% of the time.
I don't progress from my warm-up to my main training that much.
Often I don't progress out of bed, to be honest, but that maybe just me. Right, Yanya, let's see what she can do. She gets cracking on the bottom half of this route, making the uncomfortable look easy so far, but there is a lot to do. Yanya can make mistakes. Let's see what happens. Brooke Rabbatu currently sitting in first position.
You know what I love about her? That she always looks fearless. She looks like she's never afraid of anything. She's always, nothing kind of intimidates her. She just goes. I remember one time in the semifinal, she dropped her chalk bag.
Yeah.
And like a second quick draw and did not care. She was okay, I dropped my chalk bag. I'll just keep on going.
Just doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Right, into this first dyno section, she goes up to the crimp, clipping low. No pause from Yanya, just straight into it. I'd actually looked down for half a second. I looked up and she'd already jumped.
I don't know. I was a bit scared right now because he jumped. Like, I don't know how she thought about jumping. Like 2 pinches on the left side of the hole is like another level of intelligence.
Yeah, climbing IQ certainly up there for Yanya Gambre. She takes a moment here, just composing herself after that. 4.5 minutes. I don't think time is going to be an issue on this route. Yanya Gambre, the only athlete who can knock Brooke Rabbatu off the top of the podium, and I bet Brooke is sitting there. I don't think Brooke expected to be in first place at the moment.
If Brooke is going to win her first gold medal in lead, it's crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, these two never competing against each other in a senior lead final. This is the first time. As Yanya comes into the endurance section, but before she gets there, she has to do a second dyno.
Is Brooke been to a lead final before?
No, this is her first senior lead final.
Talking from experience, it's sometimes you can win your first final.
Yeah, indeed. Right, Yanya, what can she do with this? She's going up with the left, easily makes it stick and readjusts with a bump up there.
I love this move so much. This kick. And look how fast she found this toe hook. I don't think she thought about this toe hook before the route, but she just was there and she saw it. She just did that.
Just naturally does it in the moment, yeah. Right, Yanya Gambre in third place currently, so she's guaranteed a bronze medal. She won't be satisfied with that, though. It'll be interesting watching her through this section. Brooke resting her way through it.
My fingers are so sweaty. I missed it so much. I guess people at home also missed it. It was such a long time without a lead World Cup in this level for sure. And it's so nice to see that again.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reminder of the quality on display here. And the build-up to the Olympics, it's so exciting. Yanya getting a toe hook. Toe hook is when you use the rubber on the toe patch, the end of your shoe, in order to hold yourself into the wall or to gain a little rest. An advanced climbing move. And you can see it there, that left toe just jammed in, pressing against the wall, allowing her to rest at the end of this endurance section. Alex, this is the final chance for a triple dyno. I'm going to say, I said the TD word. I want to see the TD.
Wow, she looks strong.
Yeah, she does look strong. This is where Brooke, almost where Brooke came down a couple more holds, up with that big yellow press on the right.
but she tries to find the small shakes everywhere. So I think she is a bit more tired than you think she. But wow, I really want her to get to the triple dyno to see it happen.
I know, me too. Come on, Yanya. Everyone at home is screaming for you as well. She works through this last technical section. Starting to slow down now, starting to work a little bit. And she bumps out right onto that sloper. Makes the clip nice and low. And here's the press move that got Brooke. Can Yanya get through it? 1.5 minutes left, plenty of time. All eyes on the top of this lead wall here in Innsbruck. Everyone looking up in the stadium.
If she rests, she looks like she can gain something from this rest. And if she can, then she can also... she looked at the clock, I think. Now she realized she can rest a bit longer.
Yeah, she's found a good position here, and you can see just every second she's resting, she's getting something back into those arms, readying herself for this final moves. Out with the press. High left foot. Cruising through it.
Let's see that. I want to see that happen.
Right, here we go. Triple dyno. What have you got for us, Yanya? Route setters, I hope you've done us proud. Let's see what's going on with this one. Yanya's going to take a moment, 40 seconds, easily enough time as she eyes it up. She's smiling.
She knows.
She knows indeed. Let's see it. Fly, Yanya. 24 seconds.
It's
Just
amazing.
keeping us waiting. This is incredible. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
She skipped the triple dyno.
She skipped it,
dashed the
need
double
it.
dyno. Look, 9 seconds to clip.
Come on, Yanya, quick. She's done it. Yanya Gambre will win the 2021 IFSC World Cup.
The GOAT.
Oh, what a
The
moment.
goat.
Alex, I'm exhausted.
Incredible. Like always. I mean, and congrats to Brooke as well. Amazing performance.
Yeah, we'll see a confirmation of those results in a second. And in a minute, Alex, I'm going to have to dash across the stadium. But before I do that, we're just going to have a little chat about this moment. Yanya Gambre waves to the crowd. Takes a moment. She's one of those climbers who's so expressive. You know what Yanya's thinking. Let's watch some highlights of this moment once again.
This move was my favorite move of the route. Like when you throw your feet and kind of find your way.
Yeah, it's really special. And this was the final seconds here. And that was the triple dyno. We might have overhyped it. That's what we were told anyway, but it certainly was a dynamic move at the end of this route.
I told you so, right?
You did.
I said you can probably stop on the first tsunami hold.
Yeah, you did.
If you don't know at home, this hold by flat hold, it's called that tsunami. This is the name of the set. When you route set a lot, you also learn the names of the sets.
Good knowledge there, Alex. Well, up top 3 are confirmed. Yanya Gambre comes down from the wall. What a performance from her at gold medal. And Akio Noguchi getting a bronze medal. Fantastic for her. Gold for Yanya, silver for Brooke, bronze for Akio Noguchi. As we watch these scenes as Yanya comes down. Right, Alex, I'm going to head off. I'll see you in a couple of seconds.
Sure.
Take a break at home. I'll be back very soon.
Stay calm. You have to show your endurance. It's all about climbing on the highest level. It can't be better than tonight. Yanya Gambre, Rakovitz, and Akio Noguchi. The first lead podium of the year. They deserve it. geklettert ist im Vorstiegsfinale gegen Jessie Pilz, beide oben angeschlagen haben und Sekunden entschieden haben, wer der neue Weltmeister, die neue Weltmeisterin ist. Und Yanya Gambre diesen einen Tick, diesen einen Moment nicht hatte und Jessie Pilz oben war und einen dieser ganz wenigen Titel auslassen musste, wie enttäuscht sie damals war, wie sehr das sie auch beschäftigt hat. Und jetzt ist sie da wirklich unfasslich in Form und das genau 30 Tage vor Olympia. Ich freue mich drauf, was da in Tokio passiert wird. Höchster Respekt hier den Umsetzern. Höchster Respekt an den Athleten. Was für ein Vorstiegsfinale. Nummer 1 in dieser Saison in Innsbruck.
Was hat das so speziell gemacht? Ja, das Spezielle im Finale war, dass alle...
Scherer wird mit Sicherheit die richtigen Orte im österreichischen Fahrverein finden. Da gibt es Interviews mit den Ladies. Die Siegerehrung gibt es heute im Anschluss an das Männerfinale. Und die Männer starten hier pünktlich um 21 Uhr. That will be now time for introduce. The men's competition will start at 9 p.m. and the building ceremony will take place here after men's final. Right straight after the last
Yanya, what a finals, a route of many dinos. I mean, it was explosive.
Yeah, I really liked the route at observation already, and it was fun to climb. It had some tricky parts and like tricky sections, but yeah, I made it through pretty smoothly, so I'm really happy with my climbing today.
First League World Cup of the season, first gold medal. You must be feeling over the moon.
Yeah, of course, I'm very happy with the gold medal, and yeah, the most important thing for me is that I climbed really well, like semis and finals, and I really enjoyed it. And it's been so long without any lead comps, and I'm really glad that I finally could climb like I wanted.
Well, Yanya, look, congratulations, another medal for you. Enjoy every second of this moment.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the women's final done as we watch some replays of this moment. Some truly spectacular scenes.
This dyno was amazing. Yeah. And it's always nice to see Yanya win. She's such a great kind of model of our sport. She's she's always smiling, always nice, always positive.
Exactly. Well, that was our women's final. What a moment. Brooke Rabbitoux, silver medal for her, a victory for Yanya. Incredible scenes here in the stadium as these slow motion shots show us what we've just experienced. Men's climbing up next. If you need a break, have it now, because do not go away during that men's final.
I have to tell you, Matt, I've seen the men's route and it's insane. Really, I'm really excited to see. And, you know, it's a great final.
Okay, we're going to say goodbye for now for a couple of seconds while we watch a little bit of video, and we'll be back for that men's final.
gentlemen, I hope you're ready for more of this extraordinary climbing show here in Innsbruck. Men's are ready.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2021 IFSC Lead World Cup. My name is Matt Groom, and I have Alex Kazanov in the commentary box with me tonight. We've just watched the women's lead final, and I'm still a little bit sweaty, Alex. What a spectacle that we've just seen.
Yeah, it was incredible final, really. And Yanya nailing the top was incredible. And now I'm curious about the men. The men final, the field at least, looks really, really promising.
So these are our finalists on screen now. Stefano Ghisolfi of Italy. He qualified in last place from the semi-final, so he'll be climbing first out tonight. Massimo Higuchi from Japan. He's climbing second for us. Someone you know fairly well, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, we climbed it together in Tokyo. Yeah, he climbs in the gyms there. Really strong in bouldering as well, even though he's specializing in lead.
Alex Magos, someone who needs very little introduction, one of the best climbers in the world, and what a pose from Magos. Loving that. Working and has climbed 9Cs in the 9C in the past. Luchka Potocka from Slovenia. Looking very serious in that picture, but he'll be climbing fourth. Switzerland's Sascha Lehmann, a little powerhouse of a climber, pure muscle, pure physicality. As you can see, there we go.
Amazing lead climber, amazing lead climber.
Sascha will be coming out fourth from last year. Jakob Schubert, Austrian climber in front of his home crowd.
Also a man that needs little introduction.
Absolute legend. And he will be enjoying this final. In fact, I chatted to him earlier and he was having just a wonderful time here climbing, loving every second of it. Alberto Gina Lopez from Spain, sporting a new haircut this weekend.
Amazing endurance. This guy has incredible endurance. Oh, like, incredible.
And there he is, Adam Ondra, one of 4 men Olympians, male Olympians.
Come on, Adam, let loose.
There he goes, little smile.
Oh, here we go, here we go. I was worried he's not going to do anything.
So this is our men's route, and these are our finalists. Stefano will be climbing last. Stefano will be climbing first. Adam Ondra will be climbing last. Adam climbing last because he qualified first from the semi-finals.
Look at the start list. Everyone is a lead. Like, all of them are lead specialists. Stefano, Masahiro. Masahiro is one of the few Japanese lead climbers that are focusing on lead. Megos, Luca, Sasha, I mean, Alberto, they're all lead climbers in the essence. You know, and of course, we're all climbers and we do everything. I also lead climb, but I'm a boulderer in my core, and they are lead climbers in there.
Exactly. So if you want to watch a lead climbing masterclass, this is the place for it. And on the left-hand side, that is our men's route, winding our way up. And in a minute, we'll get one of those fancy graphics to check out the route in detail. But there's a lot to this thing. Again, on our 15-meter high lead wall with that 10 meters of overhang on it. And the route itself snakes from right to left, back right again before finishing dead center of our lead wall here tonight.
Let me tell you something, it looks way taller than 15 meters.
It really, really does, yeah. This opening section there in the blue, followed by the black. Jump and campus move down low, a compression section round about those green holds, a crimpy endurance part on small screw-ons on top of those blue volumes before the final top. 8 athletes wait backstage, coming out into this arena, and the first one, Stefano Ghisolfi.
I mean, you know it's going to be a great final when Stefano is the first one out, right? I mean, cannot be bad.
Yeah, one of the world's best lead climbers. 5 gold medals to his name. I know he's currently working a 9C in Seiyus, so he's certainly got some sport climbing class behind him as he gets started.
One of the best things about this event in Innsbruck, and it was the same in World Championships in 2018, is the DJ. The DJ is great, really.
Yeah, he's having a good time. This first section is filled with dual texture holds. You can see them shining there in the lights.
And something new that you can see is the dual texture bolt blocker thing. And if you remember, Adam Ondra actually missed the first qualifying event in Japan and didn't make it to the Olympics there because he stepped on the bolt. And now there is a way to protect it.
Exactly, so if an athlete touches or steps on or uses a bolt in any way, they will get disqualified. And those little green things you can see at the top of the quick draw, they protect the bolt so the athlete can't stand on it. But don't think that's an advantage because there's no friction, 0 friction on those things. So they will in no way help a climber. They're just there to prevent disqualifications.
They're even more slippery than a wall. Much, like, way more slippery.
Right, Stefano gets through this first blue section. Again, not too difficult, but just designed to slightly unsettle the athletes. Get them a bit pumped.
And he's entering the really steep part now.
Yeah, this wall starts kicking out on the overhang. You can see cutting loose, holding the movement with a static core. And toe hooking on that dual textured hold, that's got to be an insecure feeling.
It looks like a hard clip, actually. Not sure what he's going to do now.
Yeah, he's very low on this hold. Is he going to go left or right? Because if he's going to go right, he's going to have to really crank back and right with his shoulders.
Here we go.
Stefano just taking a second to read this route.
One of the greatest things about Stefano is ability to rest and to gain power and to recover really fast and really efficient. If he knows like where to rest and to kind of find his flow and his rhythm, he's almost unstoppable.
Goes for the right and then slaps into the left, into this compression, finding a little knee bar, and exactly as you said, that moment of rest.
I think Adam is going to let his hands down there.
Yeah, Adam Ondra known for his knee bars. He finds them everywhere, that man. Stefano, this crimpy section now, you can see those, and the route setters deliberately blocked the top of them, and that's so it makes heel hooks harder. So they can't just crack a heel hook in there and make it stick. They have to be very, very precise with every movement. If you've just joined us, hello and welcome. We're in Innsbruck for the 2021 Lead World Cup. My name is Matt Groom and I'm with Alex Kazanov in the commentary box. We've already had the women climbing tonight, and now it's time for the men to show us what they're made of. Stefano puts chalk on those black volumes for the first time. Climbing well so far, Alex.
Yeah, well, no surprise there, right? It's Stefano Ghisolfi, but yeah, it's just still a long way to go. And now he enters the really powerful part, the compression part that we saw. The holds are quite positive, but it's really steep and the feet are not so good. And
What is a compression move?
so the compression move is where you squeeze with your hands or your feet, mostly holds that are facing the other way of your body. So you actually squeeze in with your hands. This is called compression. Usually it's most classic compression is a fridge one. So imagine you just hold the fridge with both hands and you have to really squeeze hard to stand the wall. So this is basically compression in a nutshell. There's a lot of theory behind it. But,
no, I think that's a good description, that fridge hug. Stefano with a high heel as he rocks up on it.
I wonder if it was smart. No, it looks smart, okay.
I tell you what, Stefano is nearing the top of this wall very, very rapidly. He's got 1 minute and 50 seconds left. And he's not looking at all phased. There isn't really a crux to this route. It's just full endurance all the way.
And Stefano is known for this endurance. Don't let it like misjudge like the route, because it's Stefano, and you know, he's first one out, but he's also Stefano, so it doesn't mean the route is easy or anything.
Exactly.
He's so close to the top.
This route about 8C plus, potentially harder. Slightly harder than the semi-finals again. Stefano getting huge support from the crowd here. That spotlight illuminating him on the wall. Now he's having to work though. Right hand crimp and right foot out. The top is in sight for Stefano Ghisolfi. Give him a shout, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Stefano. Just takes the fall slightly before the top.
I don't think he read the top move right, but it's, wow, it was an amazing first go. You know, you would think that the first climber out would be potentially the last place in the final or something, but I don't think this is the case at all. I think it was an amazing performance, a really high point, might be podium even, we'll see.
Exactly, we've still got 7 athletes to climb. And as Alex said, just because Stefano came out first, that means he qualified last from the semi-finals. That doesn't really mean anything when you get athletes of this caliber. It's so hard to separate them anyway. Look at that shot as the chalk blows down on his face. As he takes a moment to compose himself. And there is Team Italy cheering him on. Great support from all of them here tonight. And this is the move that he got slightly wrong, perhaps. It's designed to be a jump, and I think Stefano was almost trying to static it going sideways.
Yeah, I thought, I mean, personally, I thought it's more of a jump. I'm not sure how actually to jump it myself.
Yeah, because it's slightly misleading with that right black hole, because it looks like you're sort of pressing it, but then your feet are so far out right.
And the last hold is such a jug that you can probably hold it with one hand and you don't need this huge foot. So I'm confused myself right now. I don't have the answer.
Masahiro Higuchi now from Japan coming out onto our stage. Hasn't won a World Cup lead competition yet. One of the lesser experienced athletes in this final. Started competing since 2007. So he's been on the scene for a long time, but he hasn't had as many finals as some of the others.
Still podiumed, so I mean,
exactly.
You know, but even one podium in a World Cup is something that is, you know, most people in the world won't achieve this thing. So.
Exactly. I mean, on-sighting 8C in front of the crowd with this kind of pressure on, I just... Yeah, it's a standard that many of us, I mean, you, Alex, you will, but yeah. For most of us, we have no idea.
I love, you know, comps with a big crowd, and, you know, it depends on the athlete, but I think most athletes really like the crowd. I mean, it gets them pumped, and you know, you hear the scream, and once you do a hard move and you hear the roar of the crowd, it's kind of this huge wave lifting you up. Like, you feel the power, you feel the energy is there. It's electric, and this is why I compete. Personally, I wait for these moments when you go out, you have 10,000 people watching, and you do the move that no one did, and the whole crowd goes nuts. And this is amazing about comms.
You give me goosebumps, Alex. Yeah. You literally are. It's wonderful to hear that described like that.
Here we go. This is the first. Like, whoa! Look at this power.
I thought the camera had just gone into slow motion with that move.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. Definitely was.
I hope we see a replay of that because that was a wonderful unwind, static unwind, so much power and control as he now rests, where we saw Stefano rest earlier on. Masahiro now just taking his time, chalking up.
Japanese team always delivering, even in lead, even in any discipline. And it's always someone, like there's so many strong climbers in Japan. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, absolutely. The team seems to change every week as they bring in different athletes. It's
like suddenly they bring a new one to the bouldering scene, like Shota Tanaka, and he just makes finals just because, you know.
Exactly. Those are those crimps they have to work with, blocked off at the top in order to make things difficult for the feet. Climbing well so far. This route, just a relentless burning route. No real crux in it, just hard move after hard move all the way to the top.
The amazing thing about really good lead climbers is their ability to recover on really small holds. Usually crimps is something you get pumped if you're a normal person, right? But those climbers here in this final, they can recover so well on really small crimps.
Do you think it's something you can train and learn, or is it just something you have to be born with?
No, you definitely can train it, definitely. Some people more than others. I know that Alberto, the Spanish climber is going to climb later, is training extremely hard. But you definitely can train it. Some people are born more with this endurance kind of thing, and more people are a bit stronger, so they have more white fibers in their muscles. But you can train everything. This is what I believe. I don't believe it's not that you cannot train. If you work hard enough and you want it hard enough, you can achieve it.
There you go, that's inspiration to get down the gym. You're sitting at home watching this thinking, I want to give this a crack. Do go, start climbing. Gyms all around the world as Masahiro ends this endurance section again with a static hold of that move and just misses the side pull there, the crimpy side pull with the right hand.
Was a good go. Was a good go. And remember, we saw Stefano heel hooking really high, and we thought, that might be a mistake, but it was actually really smart. And now we see that this move was actually really hard. And the way Stefano did it was really smart.
The rain starting to fall here in Innsbruck now. Let's see how that will affect. But look at these moves. It is, I mean, this is in slow motion, obviously, but it looks slow motion when he was actually doing it in real life. Making those clips.
Yeah, a smarter way to clip this one. I think
that's an example of those tiny holds Alex was talking about. Just one pad of a finger on that. Not even enough space to lock off that crimp with the thumb properly.
This guy shows up every single.
Crimps, if you don't know, when we talk about them, they're small holds that you can force your fingers onto a crimp. And there are lots of examples of them in this route. And there's various different ways of closing or holding a crimp. You can have an open crimp where you don't wrap the thumb over, and a closed crimp when you wrap the thumb over the fingers. And it creates a little bit more of a powerful lock, but it can be a bit dangerous if you don't know what you're doing because so much power goes through those fingers. And this is the moment. So the heel, you think that's probably the way forward on that?
I guess you can do it also like this. The next climber might do it like this. Usually it's not fancy over heel hooks or dough hooks or drop knees or anything.
There is
this guy.
Our next climber, Alex Megos. Alex, how well do you know Alex?
I know him quite well. I mean, we competed quite a few times together. An idol of the sport, such a fun guy, always driven to win, but also always friendly, always smiling. An extremely strong guy.
The rain comes down, adding to the drama of the evening. Smoke over the arena there as the DJ hypes us all up. Alex Megos, third climber out. He's had a slightly slow start to his season. Bouldering perhaps not his #1 priority. Lead is where he excels. And now is his
He's
moment.
actually quite consistent in bouldering this year. Bouldering is not usually his style, is not, I guess, the best in this new school of bouldering, but he makes almost every semi, if not every semi this season, so definitely not bad.
Exactly. And with an eye on the Olympics, that
Yeah.
consistency is what he's going to need.
Yeah, like making every semi in bouldering, making finals in lead. I mean, that's pretty good, definitely. And climbing a 9C there and there between.
Yeah, the man has got some serious pedigree as he makes his way through this first section. Even though it's the start of the route, those pockets not very big. Just pinching with the thumb on that dual textured hold. Purple Rain playing in the background as the rain falls. Very appropriate song choice by the DJ.
I think you will like this next section, this compassing section.
Yeah, Alex, fig fouring
Figure
there.
4, come on, this is just for the style, I mean.
He did that for the gram, I tell you. A figure 4 is when you put your leg over your arm. It's more of an ice climbing move, really, in order to get extra reach. But we are starting to see it a little bit more in climbing nowadays. Some athletes using it. I saw Sean McCall doing it in Chamonix a couple of years ago on a route. That number 1 at the top, that's Stefano Ghisolfi. Current number 1. Alex hoping to throw him off that top spot on this route as he enters this crimpy, endurance-y section.
I wonder what was in his head when he tried to put his knee bar. It's like, I'm not gonna put a knee bar. I'm Alex Magus. I don't do this. I don't climb like this. You know, it's the funniest like thing when you climb with him and he goes like, what are you doing? No heel hooks allowed.
Alex making up his own rules, and why not if you're one of the best climbers in the world? Which he certainly is. About halfway now. Or certainly nearing halfway as he makes the big bump up with the left hand. And onto this last of the crimps before the fridge huggy section, the compression section. It's funny, whenever I think of Alex Megos, I think of him as sort of more of a precise, delicate climber almost, and perhaps not quite as good as these compression moves, but then he's so strong, it doesn't really make any difference to him.
He's just really good and really strong.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of both, but I guess more strong, I would say.
Yeah, and so much technique with every move he does.
Looks that is actually in a struggle. It looks like it's hard for him here. He looks a bit pumped.
Yeah, he needs to find a few rests. He's climbed quickly. There's still 2 minutes 40 to go. We know there is a heel hook coming up. Let's see if he uses it. And drops it.
It looked a bit tired. Probably not the best performance he hoped for, but he's one of the few climbers in this final that actually competed in bouldering as well. So while Masahiro and Stefano, they were resting yesterday, he was doing a really hard round of bouldering qualification. And if you didn't see the results, the round yesterday was one of the hardest ever. And one group, and I think pretty sure it was his group, you had to, like, the winner had 3 tops. So imagine while everyone else is resting, you are competing in this heinous round. So, you know, even though he did not do his best tonight, he's still Alex Magus.
Yeah, it's part of a bigger plan when you're an Olympian, I think, at this stage. All competition practice.
Bring it on, bring it on. With the reigning Youth European League Champion.
So, watching some replays of Alex's moment when he came off the wall there, using those small crimps, suddenly getting fatigued in the final part, but great performance from Alex in second place at the moment. But we've got some big names still to come. In fact, the final well, every name still to come could potentially win this final. Alex takes his seat with the rest of the athletes in the holding area. Luchka Potača out next from Slovenia. Walked out in his trainers. He wants to keep his climbing shoes as dry as possible because it is pouring with rain, and any moisture on your feet, as much as psychologically, it just gets in your head, doesn't it? When things are damp.
It's horrible. One of the things I hate the most is where you start climbing and you realize one of your shoes is wet. It's so annoying. You cannot trust your foot, Sam.
Exactly, and when you've got dual textured holds on the walls and it's slippery in the first place, you don't want any moisture going on.
The craziest thing about dual texture holds is it's actually much easier to step on if you're doing it barefoot. It's fun. It's a fun fact. We're not allowed to climb barefoot, and for a good reason. But if you have like your own home wall right now in the COVID, you're in some lockdown and you want to test it, so you can, and it's actually much better than stepping with a climbing shoe.
I feel sorry for my local climbing gym because I am going to go and try that out, and my horrible feet are going to be on the holds. Luchka now getting hit underway, 30 seconds into the 6 minute of time that he's allotted. Stefano Gasolfi currently in first place, followed by Alex Megos. Masahiro in third place currently. Luchka getting cheered on by the MC here in the stadium. And I hope you are back at home as well. Crowds can't be allowed into this arena because of COVID regulations. Some of the competitions we've seen this year have allowed crowds. This isn't one of them. So if you're at home, make sure you're yelling at your screens as we build up to the end of this men's final. Luchka just taking a second to rest. This is this cut loose section. You'll see him swing out. There he goes, except you can see his hand at the moment, but there he goes, swinging out. And this is the resting position we saw. Alex trying to put a fig four in here. Not quite sure where he was going with that one, but it was cool to see.
You know, Alex is one of those climbers that do, I mean, extra style points do matter, so.
That is true. He's got a whole culture following his Alex. But Luchka, meanwhile, with that right heel hook pressed into the hold, just steadying himself, getting some power back in his arms. Cutting loose completely there.
Wow, that looked power draining.
And again with the cut loose.
But he did a quick decision, and this is even more important. Like, one of the most important qualities you need to be a good lead climber is to be really decisive. You cannot hold like a really bad hold and think for ages what you're going to do. You have to do something. It would sometimes result you falling, but most times it's actually the way to go.
Yeah, it's all instincts, experience, that all comes into play here. And we see it, you can see it all the time when an athlete just makes a snap decision. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's all part of this game. Luchka, though, with 3 minutes 18 on the clock.
A lot of time. One of the, I guess, the best climber in that area of.
Frustration from Luchka as he comes down from the wall. We'll have to see a replay of exactly what happened.
His slipping was really, really surprising. He was so confident. He looked really strong. A lot of power in the tank, and his foot just slipped. I'm wondering if it's because of the conditions. It's raining right now. It's more humid. Maybe he didn't notice. Didn't think about that. He needs to put more pressure on his feet, but. It's such a pity.
It was 83% humidity before the rain came. Let's watch this hop.
Look at his foot just slipping.
That's a great angle. I mean, it was just a full foot pop, wasn't it? See that again from the wide. Yeah, there it is, and couldn't hold it.
It's not that easy.
Interesting. Well, that has just added another element to this final with 4 athletes to go. are we battling conditions as well as the difficulty of the route? Time will tell. Those athletes have climbed already. They get to see the route. These athletes, remember, this is on-site format. They get a few minutes just to check out the route. Stefano Ghisolfi, 47, is currently in the lead. Alex Megos with 37 plus. Masahiro Higuchi in third at the moment. And those numbers relate to the holds they've got to. If they get to the very top of the wall, those numbers would say top to indicate the top. And top is obviously as high as you can go on the wall, the best you can get. If two athletes top a climb, well, then it goes down to how quickly they did it. So speed is a little bit of a factor in this sometimes. Alex, does that ever play in your mind when you're climbing that sometimes you might have to pull that out of the bag?
Well,
in fact, we'll just watch this, watch the replay, and then I'll ask you that question, Alex. So, awesome scene so far from this men's final. We're about halfway through it. 4 athletes to go now. Sascha Lehmann, Jakob Schubert, Alberto Ginette Lopez, and Adam Ondra still to come. Let's have another look at our wall here tonight. That's the men's route.
so you asked if speed is a factor. And,
do you think about it ever when you're...
No, I mean, personally, I'm more of a boulder, so I don't think about it speed. I don't really take a long rest because I just get more pumped. So usually I just climb, I mean, with the flow I have. But I guess this definitely is, I mean, Stefano, as I said before, is one of the best climbers in actually like timing his rests, because he really likes to rest a lot. And some people don't like to rest at all. Take, for example, Jan Hoyer. I saw him doing qualification routes without a chalk bag. Just because he's not chalking, because he just goes as fast as he can.
Is that because he's coming from a sort of a bouldery background where endurance isn't as important?
Yeah, I mean, when you don't work a lot with your endurance, you have to rely on your power. So you just climb as fast as you can until you get pumped and hope you get pumped a bit higher than... so yeah, it's a tactic.
Right, 23-year-old Sascha Lehmann from Switzerland. Certainly a bit of a crowd favorite, this man.
He's amazing lead climber. Amazing lead climber. Had a lot of bad luck, I guess you can call it, with the Olympic qualifiers event, losing his spot in the Olympics twice on time, both in Toulouse and in Moscow. And you know, he deserved it, like, as every, and unfortunately it did not happen.
I talked to him about it, and he just told me that he had to just go away for a bit, just take a couple of weeks off, get his head sorted, and then come back into the scene.
I mean, I get, you know, he worked really hard for it, but he will have his chance. He will have the Olympics in Paris, and he's going to be leading boulder, and he can, you know, do really well there as well.
Exactly. One to watch for the future is Sascha, but he has potential to win this comp as well. Smooth climber, but hugely physical and strong when he wants to be and needs to be. See that graphic on the left-hand side? That is our wall. He's down on hold number 4, and he's aiming for that number 1 spot near the top of the wall. He won't know that that's where Stefano's got to, but he'll have an indication, have an idea that he's going to have to climb quite high on this wall.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's hard to know because Stefano was the first one out. So, you know, the crowd would cheer him the same way if you got, you know, halfway of the wall. Because the crowd doesn't know where's the high point. And so it's hard to guess. It's hard to guess. And the guys before him fell a bit lower, so...
Yeah, true. Sascha will know he's got some work to do, but I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, does it? They're all just, they're going for the top. They're not tacticking this one out. That's not a word, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Sasha Lehmann cutting loose, as we've seen almost everyone do. And then will he discover this high heel hook? Currently he's got his toe down low, different resting position from what we've seen.
Doesn't look too comfortable, but it's a good hold.
Yeah, requiring a bit more core in that move to hold him into the wall. Sasha now finding the hold, but yeah, there we go, that's the heel, but instead of resting there, he's using it to move through.
That is a powerful move.
Sasha into the crimpy section. So he brings the left hand through to match and then swaps back again. Technical climbing here as we watch just how small that hold is. A big right heel. Bump up to the back volume. If you're in Switzerland cheering for Sasha, make sure you cheer loudly. I know there's a lot of Swiss fans back at home watching this. Just over the border from Austria. Night descending on our arena. The rain mercifully, oh no, still falling in fact. Pouring with rain out there. I missed it for a second, but it is raining hard.
I love the spotlight, man. Like, I really do. I love comps at night. It makes something really special about it. And I like it as a climber as well, not only as a spectator.
Yeah, all eyes on Sasha as he nears the halfway point. Looking good at the moment, no problem so far for Sasha.
He enters the powerful section, and now we're going to see if he's tired or he can get a bit higher.
Yeah, that long quick draw. Alex, why would they extend a quick draw like that? Because most of the quick draws are short and that one's fairly long.
Might be because of the clip and because it's a hard clip and they want to make it easier. Might be because of the drag of the rope and so make the top a bit easier to clip.
Sasha now into this physical section. He's starting to have to fight now as he finds a heel and misses the side pull. Sasha Lehmann though in third position currently, bronze medal.
Fighting bump to second place. I'm pretty sure he did the exact same score as Masahiro.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for a confirmation on that, which we'll get soon. The technical delegates and judges watching Sasha on gives a wave to the crowd. Something I really enjoy about Sasha is he always gives something back to the people watching. He's not, you know, some people are in their own world. Sasha always a little smile, a wave to the audience.
He's such a true lead climber. I love that. I mean, recent years the lead kind of became really bouldery, and you can see a lot of boulders making really great results. And, you know, they are really strong, and it's really cool to see. And I'm a boulder myself, so it's really nice actually to being able to do good in lead as well. But it's also nice to see those lead climbers like Sasha climbing this, you know, monster endurance routes, and it's inspiring, like, for me as an athlete to go and train my endurance.
Another close decision.
So we have got 3 athletes here to go. Welcome to Innsbruck. My name is Matt Groom and I'm here with Alex Kazanov, athlete, boulderer, expert, and very knowledgeable about the athletes and the moves. So thank you so much, Alex, for being with me in the commentary box as we watch this spectacle of climbing. Jakob Schubert out next in front of his home crowd. He's got to be one of the favorites for the Olympics, surely.
Oh yeah, definitely, Jakob Schubert. I mean, you know, the local legend and the global legend as well. But I mean, he was born in Innsbruck, lived his whole life in Innsbruck. I'm not sure if he was born here. I think he was. Anyway, he lived here. He trained here. He lives here, and this is his hometown, home turf, home. And I'm sure he's excited to climb in Innsbruck. He won the World Championships here in 2018, and the guy is crazy strong. I climb with him quite a lot. his good friend, and is just inspiring how strong he is.
57 podiums for Jakob Schubert. And to put that into perspective, Adam Ondra has 29.
Wow.
So Jakob Schubert just has so much to pull from in his years of experience, all this comp practice.
2011, 10 years ago already, he won 7 straight Lead World Cups. 7 straight. I remember him, it was 10 years ago, he was pretty young, and he posted on Facebook, just like this, after the 5th win or something, this song, like, all I do is win. And this was his post, like.
That's amazing. He's such a nice man as well. He's always accessible. You can always chat to Jakob.
Yeah.
You can see, though, the rain spitting on the camera. We thought it might be affecting some of the athletes, but I think we're okay. We haven't seen any more slips like Luchka's. Jakob Schubert, what can he do with this lead wall? This endurance, style, route should suit him. So he immediately gets started smashing up left and left again.
That was actually, looked like a hard move. You know, I didn't notice it before because it's such a, like it's second quick draw move, but it looked hard.
Yeah, it did look tricky, and that's just unsettles him a little bit.
There's this kind of fashion of fruit setters to set a really sketchy and hard move, really low down. And a lot of people fall on those moves. 2019 in Japan in the Lead World Cup, Sean McCall fell on the first move of a route. And then, I mean, he crushed the second one, made semi-finals, but I mean, imagine that.
Yeah, imagine traveling all the way to a comp and falling off the first move and having to go home.
The nice thing about Lead is you always have another chance, but only in the qualification. And then, if you're good, you can also kind of like make up for a mistake. But in semis and finals, yeah, it can be over in a second.
Jakob not resting very long on the bottom of that route. But now he immediately presses on, finding the heel hook that Sasha didn't decide to use or didn't realize he could use. Crossing through, as we've seen all the athletes do, left hand out. And a big cut loose into that heel hook. Jakob Schubert climbing very well with 4 minutes left on the clock. He has a style about him, doesn't he, Jakob? It's kind of like a fluidity when he climbs.
It's just a lot of power also. But yeah, I mean, you know, they are all great climbers, definitely. But, you know, some of them are just so strong and makes it special.
The music creating even more atmosphere in this stadium. Jakob in front of his home crowd. He's going to want to do well here. He's, of course, got the bouldering tomorrow, but right now his whole focus will be on that top hold. I hope you hear this music back at home.
Okay, he goes into this powerful section, which suits him quite well, I think.
Yeah, Jakob having no problem so far. He's looking to get the heel up now on that little screw on, which he gets up to the crimp. Clipping this long, quick draw in a second. Brief shake out before he does so.
Just skips this intermediate hold. Looking so strong. Ah, he does the heel hook that Stefano did.
Almost lost it, just managed to catch it. Up with the right.
Oh, so much shoulder power. Wow, that was incredible.
Jakob Schubert now having to fight, but he's found a resting position. Nearing Stefano Gisolfi's high point, right at the top of the wall. Spotlight creeps higher as Jakob gets ever closer.
Left.
Yeah, well, 2 minutes 13. Yeah, he's climbed it quickly, hasn't he?
Yeah. Trying to shake a bit. If he can shake something, he can shake. I mean, he will keep going.
Jakob now, muscles on top of muscles as he comes up with the right hand. Are we going to see our first top of the evening? Underclinging, compressioning.
I think you just need to catch the next hold to get the first place right now. Okay, he's in the lead. Let's see if he can top it.
Jakob's going to have to jump, and he goes, but not quite enough. We'll have to see what our leaderboard looks like in a minute. Currently, Stefan Gasolfi in first place.
And Jacob, first place right now. Wow.
That is the top of the podium for him. Stefan Gasolfi bumped down one. And he is happy with that, with 2 athletes yet to come, still to come.
This last move though, right? I mean, looks insane. You know, I noticed there's a small foothold just before the top that maybe I have an idea what to do.
The little yellow one underneath the black. Okay, yeah.
Let's see a replay of Jacob. I mean, there's so many moments here that, you know, demonstrate how strong he is.
A circular shakeout from him.
Amazing shot.
Look how small those holds are on an overhanging wall. And that was the final jump. Yeah, there's the yellow hold you were talking about.
Maybe you need to cross to the screw-on and put your right foot on the small and then jump like with your right hand.
So could this be a case that none of the athletes so far have just quite read this correctly, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. I honestly don't know. Like, it's such a weird move with this huge foothold as well. That
perhaps that was it. Perhaps that big foothold was to distract from the jump, but it is written as a jump. And then they're just talking about Stefano got to the same position. They're just chatting about what happened.
Exactly, I had the same. And I could have already like this shot. And maybe I did it this way.
Professional climbing since 2016. He's an Olympian.
Right, Alberto Guinness Lopez from Spain walks out onto the stage. He's the second to last athlete here to climb.
the guy is young. You know what I loved about him? That he's still, you know, making finals, making Olympics, podiums in the seniors, and he still does youth cups.
Yeah,
he just
true.
like did a youth cup in Innsbruck, and you know, posted, oh, my last youth cup was nice to win here, and you know, it's cool because I think it also shows the other youth that, you know, this is the level, this is where you start from. For me, when I moved from the youth, I was quite successful in my last years in the youth, and I moved on to the seniors being like, I'm gonna crush it here, you know. And you know, you realize that everyone in the seniors been a champion in the youth, or like a lot of them were, so you're not special any longer. And it's a big shock. It's a really hard transition. And being, you know, some people might say it's kind of, why is he coming to these youth events and kind of, you know, winning, but I think it's important for the other competitors, you know, the young ones, to see, like, this is the level, you know, there you should be in a few years.
And of course, one of our Olympians, trying to get all the comp experience he can, just 18 years old. Gets the right. That was the hard move that you saw earlier. Alberto making it look fairly straightforward. He trains a lot with Adam Ondra, who's the last climber out.
Oh, right. I didn't know that, actually.
Somewhat of a mentor, certainly at one point anyway, so it'll be interesting to see the two of them go head to head. Alberto cutting loose. And again, a couple of athletes doing that, just who needs feet, really? So, 2 athletes yet to go. Well, still have 2 athletes coming, and this is one of them, Alberto from Spain, Team Spain, with a big presence here in Innsbruck. Large paraclimbing team last night. So he shakes out and crosses through on those tiny little crimps. different place to rest this, Alex. You were talking about climbers getting something back on small holds. I think we've just witnessed that.
Yeah, I mean, I said that this before, and I will say it again, probably a few times. Alberto is one of those ultra endurance climbers. I mean, if you've seen the semi-final, if you didn't, you should go see the semi-final. It was amazing. He just, crushed it. And he looked tired, but he just kept on going, kept on going, kept on going. And this is something lead climbers, special. This is their specialty.
Exactly, yeah. That ability just to continue through the pump. I think I'm getting sympathy pump watching it, in fact. Right, into the compression section. The physicality of this suiting him as he bumps up with the left hand and finds that high heel. Almost everyone doing the same thing. Nearing Alex Megos' high point.
It's looking fairly comfortable right now, actually.
You see, just using the edge of that arete with the pinch. Alberto, will he work out this heel hook beater? Because it is important. And he goes out with the right, just missing it there.
That was really sudden. Really sudden.
Perhaps down to route reading, although he's taped up on his left leg. But it really shouldn't affect that move too much. Maybe just not seeing it because he went out with the right hand first. Alberto's final is done. He's not going to podium here tonight. As we watch a replay of this move.
I'm curious to see the fall. Like, I didn't really notice what happened. It happened so fast.
Look at that move then, matching the heel to his hand and then adjusting the hand up to make room for the heel. Technical climbing.
Wow. What will happen next? Jochen Schumann on first position, Stefano Ghisolfi on second, and Sasha Lehmann on third. That's how they took place at the leaders' launch. And there is one man who's always ready to write this special piece of history. Is he ready for tonight to write a new chapter in the book?
Wonderful replays in slow motion of Alberto there. So there's one athlete yet to come and a man who could certainly make an impact on this competition. He's waiting backstage, standing. That man is Adam Ondra, Olympian, 9C climber with his Ascent of Silence. Stefano's still chatting about that move, it looks like.
I'm not sure they're decided what is the right beta there, and they've been there in that position.
Adam Ondra, 28. 29 podiums and 19 wins in his time. Very consistent. You can never count him out. He's done just about everything there is to do in climbing, and he's the final athlete to make an impact tonight. What can he do?
He's the very first tall world champion in history of sports climbing. It was 2014, he won lead and bouldering. 36 Cup starts in lead, 29 times in the final. 21.
Alex Adam getting his shoes on.
I wish it was me.
Get out there, Alex. No one will stop you.
Actually, yeah, I wish it was me.
Adam using low volume shoes there. Low volume shoes, as they sound, for even less material, less space. And Adam wears ridiculously small shoes. I think he's 5 sizes down.
I'm also 5 sizes in the solution. No, actually 4.5.
Oh,
I'm 4.5 in the solutions in this shoe, and some shoes at 8.5, and some shoes at 8.3. So I mean, it really depends on the shoe, company,
Why do climbers like tight shoes? What's the reason for
No,
that?
everyone likes tight shoes, and that I mean, Adam used to it. He grown into climbing shoes. But if you're an adult, start climbing now, don't take a shoe that is too small, and make your life miserable because of this. Because if you're not comfortable in your shoes and you're suffering and you don't enjoy climbing because of it, it isn't worth it. I mean, just take a bigger shoe. And if you're Adam Ondra, just take five sizes below. It's okay.
If you're Adam Ondra, do what you want. If not, get comfy shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, 6 minutes. Adam, let's see what you can do here as he starts up the first section of this route. It's the same situation with Yanya earlier. We expect Adam to do well, but anything might happen. We've seen foot pops during this final.
Yeah, see how fast he climbs. The most amazing thing about Adam is his decisiveness and the way his speed, He has so much experience in on-sighting and flashing really hard routes outdoors. So he just knows that he needs to go. He needs to be decisive.
Adam almost slipping there, caught himself with the left hand.
I just had a small heart attack right there.
Me too. Here we are settling into a long performance and Adam nearly loses it.
Me chatting about Adam being decisive and doing fast decisions, and that happened.
Commentator curse.
Yeah.
It's happened to the best of us. Right, Adam now, will he recover? I mean, look, he's got the experience. Yes, he had a slip. It was a slip. He knows it wasn't a big deal. He'll calm himself down now, take a moment.
Definitely will. Definitely will. It's Adam.
Yeah.
And he's gonna knee bar right now. Did a knee bar. All right. This is surprising.
Adam with a different style. Oh, and Adam goes. Slipping off.
He slipped off. He slipped off.
Unbelievable moment there. That means that Jakob Schubert is going to take the win, but Adam Ondra with a surprise fall. We saw him go, and then we saw him go again. We have to see a replay of this moment.
I'm speechless, man. Honestly, I'm speechless. Wow. I mean, I did not expect this to happen at all.
Let's watch some replays. This is the first time he almost went.
I wonder if his shoes were wet or something.
Let's watch this closely here, because he brings the right in and it must have been something happened with the feet. Let's watch his feet. There, look, that right foot just slipped out. I tell you what a catch that was, though, to hold that.
Yeah.
Then he composed himself. We thought he was going to be okay.
Wow.
It's the heel. He loses the heel.
It's just this crazy slip. It's almost unnatural. It almost feels like, his shoes were wet or something.
We'll try to chat to Adam to find out what exactly happened in that moment. But there it is, that slip. He just pops and goes.
It's not something you expect. I mean, you cannot. Wow.
Well, look, this is the end of our men's final. Jakob Schubert is going to take the win. I'm going to dash over. Alex, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Your expertise is amazing, and it's so cool. Look, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of Innsbruck.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy finals and semis tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. I'll be back with you guys in a couple of minutes. I'm going to go interview him. Have a cup of tea, wait for the interview, and we'll see you very soon.
What a surprising ending, ladies and gentlemen, of that crazy, thrilling final night here in Innsbruck. What a decision. The ladies, and now the men. Stefano Gisolfi on the podium, Sasha Lehmann, and Jakob Schubert grabbing gold. Let's meet all these 6 athletes, men and women, at our awarding ceremony. Tomorrow is the very last day out of 5 days of higher levels.
Jakob, congratulations on your win here tonight. What a route and a spectacular finish.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, really happy. I don't know, somehow in my hometown Innsbruck it seems to work always. I'm really happy. I really fought hard. It was a really pumpy route. Kind of sad that we didn't get to see a fight of Adam. I think it would have been really exciting. He's such a strong climber, seems in a good form, and I think he would have had a really good shot at topping the route. So I was excited to see him up there, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
We saw you discussing with Stefano that final move because it was a tricky one. It was meant to be a jump, but then there was that big right foot out on the right. What do you think in hindsight was going on with that?
Well, I think we all read that, like Stefano and me as well, that you had to go left hand to that yellow hold, swing the right foot, and then jump to the top hold. And we both decided up there on the undercling, it's too risky to go left hand, like we might fall in that move. If I go right hand, I get the score of that hold for sure, and I probably even get a plus to the top like I did. So yeah, it's sometimes lead is a lot about tactical decisions as well, and up there I made the tactical decision. I think there was a shot or a chance of sticking it with the left hand, but it was not as high as sticking it with the right, and in the end it worked out.
Awesome. Well, Jakob, so good to see you win in front of your home crowd. Enjoy this victory.
Thank you so much.
Jetzt und Interviews. Da wird aufgebaut für die Siegerehrung. Und dann starten wir mit den Ladies und den Männern.
Was passiert ist?
So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing final we've witnessed tonight. Yanya Gambre and Jakob Schubert taking victories. We're going to watch some highlights of our finals here tonight. What a spectacular performance from everyone involved. That man there, Jakob Schubert, he's claimed victory in front of his home crowd. We've got bouldering coming at you tomorrow, so do stay tuned. I'll be here with you first thing in the morning until last thing at night as we get through the semi-finals and finals. Thank you again to Alex Kazanov for joining me in the commentary box. His wonderful insights giving us a look at how these athletes prepare and send these routes. My name is Matt Groom. It's been a pleasure talking with you tonight. And I'll sign off and say goodbye. Thank you, Innsbruck.